So thank you everybody for coming out tonight, and we are getting ready for the finals. So I think our players are ready. So let's head down to the finals. We've got Bottledjinn versus the Overmaster.
Yeah, it looks like Bottledjinn looking at a one power hand there. I'm assuming they will redraw that. Theo is looking at a two power hand, both a couple twos. Think they will redraw that too. Oh wow, wait, did Bottledjinn keep that hand?
Yeah, Bottledjinn
Oh, there's
kept
a
it.
Crown Patroller. That makes sense. Never mind. There's a Crown Patroller in the hand. That actually makes total sense to me. Because you're going to be able to plunder the Huntress away, and you're going to have Time Justice Primal Influence, and the second power plus the third with Logistics Expert. So that seems pretty good overall.
Well, on a combat painting off the top. So if you had any worries, you're all good now.
Yeah, Baljinn's power actually looks quite good.
Yeah, lots of ones in this hand too. You gotta love that. 1 1 1 1 1 2. You got the amplifies on this Hyphos each captain as well. So if you are not familiar with Hyphos, it's a 1/2 for 1 flying, amplify 2, stun an enemy unit, or play a weapon, or draw a random sigil from your deck. So Logistics, we're gonna bite the dust with send an agent. More options here. Gonna plunder away here with the Crown Patroller to definitely make that primal. Get rid of that Huntress. That's going to open up all these Hyphos, and it's going to open up the top deck for the turn, which is the Janitor himself, Janitor Dovid the first, coming off the top for Bottledjinn. And here comes the second right behind him.
Wow, that's pretty good. Interested to see what Bottledjinn will decide to do here. I wonder if they'll stun the they'll stun the vines or not, or if they'll just make a 3/4. They're gonna make a 3/4. I like that actually.
Has the Overmaster gotten vines on 1 or 2 every single game this whole tournament? Because it's felt like that.
It kind of seems like it, yeah.
Here comes the vines, but that 3/4 flyer is pretty good for Bottledjinn right here.
Yeah, I mean, I really love how flexible Hifos is. Like, if you think about it, every single one of its modes on its own is kind of but you combine them all in one card, and the flexibility is just so huge. It can fill a bunch of different roles in any given spot, right? And that's what's so good about it. Right now, Bottledjinn wants a medium-sized flyer, and they can get a medium-sized flyer. In other situations, maybe they want the power or they need to stun something, right? There's just so many options with it. It's
There you
great.
go. They're gonna make another 3/4 flyer. You know, it's weird. It's not often that you have Janitor Dovid in hand and you choose not to deploy them, but this is a good opportunity to do so. Bottledjinn saying, "I'm just gonna make 3/4 flyers. Deal with this."
Yeah, I mean the nice thing about it is if you get to 4 power, you can ideally then play two Dovids in the same turn. It's a little more power efficient to sequence it the way Bottledjinn did.
Yeah.
So I like that they're doing it that way. They could even play a third one here if they really want, though I kind of like the idea of just going Dovid plus expert.
Yeah, you
Go
could.
either way.
And notably, what's the Overmaster's removal of choice in hand?
Yeah, these sending agents are not looking too hot right now.
Turns out when you got a multi-faction 3/4 flyer on turns 2 and 3. Here you
Oh my
go. Are we
goodness.
doing it again? Are we just going to town? I mean, this is a
I
2-turn
like
clock.
that. It is. Yeah.
2-turn
Pretty
clock,
good.
and send an agent doesn't hit it.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
All right, Shoulder here. That's a big body, but Shoulder does not fly. And Overmaster is literally on a 2-turn clock. He's down to 9 this turn. And if Overmaster doesn't draw a flyer or lifesteal or some way to deal with these 3/4s.
Yeah, I mean they're looking for fifth power undepleted to near perfect imitation for Vara to get maybe another Vara. Does that even say? I mean, that probably gives them at least a turn or two,
Yeah.
depending on what Bottledjinn gets, though. I mean, for now. Let's see what they draw. Call on allies. It's
I
not going to
would.
be amazing. But they
Yeah,
can play it.
I wouldn't deploy that here. I would attack for 9.
Yeah, seems good.
Here we go. I mean, this is the draw step right here for Theo. This is the game if he doesn't draw anything relevant here.
Yeah, the moment of truth.
I
I'm
mean,
going for the
credit to Bottledjinn for seeing how this game was going to play out. All right, Xena and Silex. Oof.
that's huge. That matters a lot.
It does. All right. Imitation on the cartographer.
So I imagine it's Vara for Vara. That has to be the line, right? Because you really, really need the lifesteal. Whoa, they went for Urid. Oh my goodness. I'm terrible at this game.
Ooh, how many times today have you you
I'm like,
gotta
go for the Vara, go for the Vara. Oh.
you're gonna have to have a conversation tomorrow with Theo about not going for the Vara. It's come up way too many times today.
Theo probably knows more about this deck than I do. So they could very well be right. I mean, this does make flyers, which is good. My
Let's make
worry was
flyers.
more like, they can, get I actually like this is I think it's good either way
Two
here.
flying endurance blockers is pretty good. The only
It's a
problem
good
is
call.
it's still you haven't not that Vara's lifesteal would have gotten away with it either, but the problem is you still have a clock. Like you're not really stopping the 3/4 flyers. I guess the Shoal Dredger can eat one every turn.
Interesting. Okay. So Bottledjinn might try to go for a Daruli Amplified here,
Mm-hmm.
which in theory sounds good, but Theo does have the Sending Agent in their hand that Bottledjinn
Ooh.
doesn't know about. That could potentially blow that out.
Well, and
I mean,
now Theo has the clock. Now Bottledjinn is down to 5.
yeah, that's pretty impressive. Let's see what they can do. I think
Now they can chump
Theo,
block the Shoal Dredger, right? So they could chump this if they wanted to.
yeah, I think Theo made the comeback. It's gonna be close.
Perhaps the flying endurance blockers were better than the Vara. We'll never know, but worked here. This is impressive. I mean, the Overmaster needed exactly undepleted power that turn, or they were dead, and then to make the right play here and stabilize at 6 and keep attacking to put Bottledjinn down to 5. This endurance has been huge in this match. I mean, in the previous match too, the ability to put the pressure on, but then also not die at 6 life.
Yeah, Theo clearly proving me wrong. Oh, that's interesting. Huh. Okay. The advantage to that is that if when Theo attacks with it, it doesn't have endurance.
Mm-hmm.
That can matter.
Yep.
I feel like though, I, it feels a little psychic in a way that almost feel like if I were them, I would have just targeted one of my own things and then gotten blown out by a Sending Agent. But
Right.
just kind
You're at the draw here for the Overmaster. That's not going to do anything on this turn. So here comes the attacks.
they're attacking with the vines. That's interesting. Bottledjinn can just eat the vines here.
And just eat the vines. Has to block and either double block the 5/5 or can block chump and block. So they're going to double
Huh.
block the 5/5. Going to take 3, go to 2. Ooh, vicious overgrowth.
Oh,
Okay,
wow.
that's huge.
I imagine Bottledjinn starts with the attack, right? Because there's a chance Theo doesn't block.
Yeah,
Block, I think Bottledjinn's fine with that.
yeah, that's fine. Theo, yeah, look at that, because
Oh,
Theo's would have
oh,
to chump block there.
and here I was thinking Theo had completed the comeback. Bottledjinn
Wow,
getting there with that vicious overgrowth
what
off
a
of
game!
yeah,
Wow,
wow.
what a game! Both players exactly what they need there. Well played, Bottledjinn. Gonna take that one. They're gonna go up one game on the Overmaster. And high quality Eternal tonight. Look at this. We're gonna have to watch some of these VODs later this week. This has been impressive.
Gosh, is Theo gonna be able to complete their quest? Be crowned champion on the final week. They're gonna have to make a run here behind the game. But you never know. Anything can happen, right?
That is true. There's many storylines going on tonight, but I do love that Theo from day one playing for the wild card slot, and then in the finals of literal challenge 12. Pretty amazing. Thank you again for everyone in chat. Thank you so much for hanging out with us all night long. Bearing with us through everything. We really appreciate it. And thanks for coming out all season. It's been a ton of fun. It's been a blast to run these tournaments, and it's all for you all. It's all that everyone enjoying and hopefully enjoying some Great Eternal. All right, let's see. I'm gonna toss that one back. There's no influence in that hand for Bottledjinn. This one looks a little bit better.
Well, yeah. Theo on the play, importantly. They're currently looking at a 2-power hand with 2 Grafters, a Shoulder, a Sunset Priest, and a Urid. Yeah, they're going to redraw. That makes sense. So they're going to 6. All right. This hand seems, like high upside for sure. Right? I mean, if they draw well off of the master cartographers, they could set up a turn 5 shoal strings, but then they also could draw nothing.
Ooh, I like this. Can you go shock troops, Typhos with Amplify? Those will get pretty big.
That seems extremely fair.
That's an option. I mean, obviously the Overmaster can have some disruption, but this seems like an amazing curve if you can shock troops, Amplify.
Yeah, that seems really good.
Huntress here. Don't have the double primal anyway. Well, yeah, I guess you can just logistics expert into shock troops. Drop all your 1-drops deck here. Kind of love it.
Yeah, seems really good.
This soldiers deck seems a little bit different than ones we've seen in previous tournaments, but I kind of like this build.
Yeah, I mean, I was playing a build really similar to this on stream, and it was great for me. I was surprised I didn't see more of it in other tournaments, but Bottledjinn fighting the good fight here.
You could even marshal efficiency to get your amplify. I think Hyphos is probably better, but you could.
The advantage to martial efficiency is that you if you do Hephos and you make Hephos a 3/4, then Theo can trade with one of the shock troops. If you do martial efficiency instead, you can ensure that the shock troops eat the master cartographers, but then you don't play out another unit. So the other option could be you could stun one of the cartographers if you want. But I could see them just attacking in martial efficiency because next turn they can amplify Hephos twice.
That's true. Use your power a little bit more efficiently. Now, Theo doesn't probably block though. If you just attack with these 2/1/1s, probably just take 2. Now you do your martial efficiency anyway.
Oh
even
yeah.
if they don't block, yeah, and just get the.
Oh yeah.
He's gonna block. Okay.
Yep. Seems good. And then you can just throw the martial efficiency on the unblocked one.
Yeah, seems great.
Get there.
Like a good turn for Bottledjinn. Seems like the exact curve that you want here. That's huge. Now you got a 7/7. Oh, you got 2 4/4s here. You got a 7/7 that turn. Now a pair of 4/4s, and now you can amplify twice on the Hyphos here. You can also amplify. In Huntress if you wanted to. I don't think you're going to do that here given the board state, but you have the option. Lots of options for this deck too. Turns out when everything costs 1 and 2, you have a lot of different things that you can do.
Yeah, this is complicated because I mean, I don't know. I assume Bottledjinn doesn't know this, but Theo can shoal strings 2 Urids next turn, which is pretty significant. I mean, that's a huge swing. I wonder if they're gonna hold the Hephos out to stun them before they can attack.
That would be smart.
Try to keep applying pressure this way. I mean, that might be kind of psychic, but then I could also think like, that's Theo's like out per se.
Yep.
I wonder what they're gonna do.
Start thinking like, how could I lose this game? What could Theo have to?
Yeah, exactly. I can also see it being pretty reasonable to just be like, I'll just play a 5/6, go. You know what I mean? So it looks like that's what they're gonna do. I respect it.
Go 5/6 flyer. Pair of 4/4s and a 5/6 flyer on turn 5. But as you said, power into shoal stirrings.
So these Urids are super scary. But let's see. Ooh,
Darley is a good draw.
That's very interesting. The issue though is the endurance on those Urids attacking is going to be kind of brutal in the crackback Bottledjinn can get Theo down to 3, which again, they could always top deck a Vicious Overgrowth.
That's true.
Wouldn't that be wild?
Yeah. Darly, for those of you who don't know, Amplify 5, transform another unit into a 5/5 dragon. So you play Darly out, Amplify, probably turn the O1 probably into a 5/5 and can hit for 10. But then, as Doc mentioned, these two Urids are going to get +2 flying, endurance, quick draw, which is going to do both a lot of damage to Bottledjinn as well as have 2 endurance flying blockers. Hard to get past. Now, if they
Yeah.
make the 5/5 though, so hold on though. If they make this into a 5/5 and they attack Theo down to 3, they still have enough damage even past the flyers.
Well, the Urids are gonna attack and gain flying and endurance and quick
Right,
draw.
but I'm saying they'll have enough units go wide to do 3 damage.
Oh, you're right. I mean, the Vine Grafter can, mark it and
Sure, they can have options, sure, but on board they'll have that. We'll have to see, yeah, what Bottledjinn down to 2. What can Vinegrafter get here?
so it can get
Alright,
Nectar. Uh,
Oh, just lethal. Oh my goodness, just to the face.
yeah. Oh wow.
Wow.
Can't believe I didn't see that.
Was that 26 damage that turn?
Yep. Yeah.
Wow. Well, we missed that, chat. Sorry. That's 26 damage to the face. I'm thinking how Bottledjinn could push through the last 3, and sure enough, Theo just says, well, how about I just do 26 and end it here? Wow. All right. 1 game apiece. This is for all the marbles here. This is it. Everybody take a breath. Hold on to your seats. The final game. I guess the invitational is still part of the winter season, but I was gonna say the final game of the winter season. But here we go. This is it for the trophy. Bottledjinn, the Overmaster, tied at 1 game apiece. Probably a mulligan for Bottledjinn, I think. Yep, they're gonna toss that one back. Now they see 4 power. Typhos, martial efficiency, and vicious overgrowth. Not bad. I feel a little bad for Bottledjinn on that last game. That hand seemed so strong. It seemed like such a good start for them that I thought they were going to be able to push it out. They're actually going to mulligan that. Bottledjinn's going to go to 6 here.
Oh wow, yeah. I mean, as far as 6s go, it has potential.
Good
It has
6,
potential.
yeah.
Theo looks like they're also gonna go to 6.
That seemed like such an aggressive mull, but
I mean, there were 2 power hands. Theo really consistently has said no to the 2 power hands, which I think, makes sense, right? You really I think probably in this deck, Flood is better than Screw generally, because you can then just kind of if you assuming you've done some self mill, you can just top deck you can top deck 1 card and have a board state. But
Shock Troop's a good draw off the top for Bottledjinn on their first turn.
Yeah. And Bottledjinn also, they found the vow, or I can't tell, is that a vow? That is a vow. So they now have all 3 factions of their power, which is good. Play all this out.
Good Argos technique too, because that can, if Overmaster relies on 1 big near perfect imitation or shell stirrings, Argos technique is going to be able to take care of that.
Yep, let's see what they end up doing here. Oh wow, this is a lot of pressure.
Sure is.
So they can amplify Hephos, make it a 3/4. They can play the other Brody. They can attack for 7. That's a lot of damage. That is so much damage.
Here comes the Hephos, gonna amplify as you mentioned. That's gonna trigger Shock Troops. Make that a 4/4. Here comes the other Brody attacking through. Remember, the Brody say the units deal based on their health.
Yep. I suppose they could have also attacked with the logistics expert if they wanted. Yeah. I don't think it matters that much, but
again, this is a lot of damage lining up for next turn as well.
Now, if Theo were Psychic, maybe they would go for Back Alley Delinquent this turn. Given that they're not Psychic, Yeah, I expect them to do something like
Photographer,
this. Yeah. So I guess you could discard the painting, play this Silix, play Hourglass, and play the painting off of it
yeah,
next turn.
that's what I would think as well. Yep,
Still seems really slow,
it
like
does.
unbelievably slow.
You're gonna pitch the hourglass. Interesting. Comes the delinquent now.
Okay, so are they pitching fifth power then? Or are they pitching the Sunset Priest? Maybe they're pitching the Priest? No.
Yeah, there's the power, and they're gonna sabotage. Right, merchant can get from Anguish, Edict of Kodash, Lord Stairs Tower, Sharp Tactician, Argo, Ironthorn.
Yep, so I imagine Bottledjinn, I could see them making an attack here and using the Argos technique now because they know Theo has to sabotage, and it's probably the best use of it. They can then, I think I would just play the Winchester Merchant out without marketing.
Mm-hmm.
Reason being, it's basically just an X3 attacker,
Sure.
which is, I think, good enough here. So that's what I would expect. I could even see attacking with the Logistics Expert, right? They like make a block with the back alley delinquent, and then you can um, technique it if you want.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I think you're assuming. So you saw the discard, so you know that Theo has the sabotage. So
Yeah,
you can use that proactively pretty safely.
yeah. And it looks like Bottledjinn suspecting that Theo's going to try to make a trade, which makes sense. So then they're going to be able to break up the trade with the Argos technique. They can play out the X3 flyer. And I mean, Bottledjinn's looking to be in a pretty good spot here. Eight, 9, 10, 11. They're going to chump there, or maybe not. Okay.
Up some blocks here. Argo's technique says give one of your soldiers +2/+2 and lifesteal this turn. Not gonna use it during combat. That's fine. But gonna put Theo down to 7. I mean, plus a merchant. This is a pretty quick clock here. Like you said, not gonna go to the market. Near perfect
Yeah,
imitation off the top for Theo.
yeah, a little pun. I mean, a little. I guess it would have been a
Payback.
turn too slow anyways, but yeah, not having
Yeah.
that fifth power is,
A
that
little awkward.
burns for sure.
Yeah, it's a little decision that Theo made. Strategic decision Theo made. Little awkward there, but
Ooh, I like this actually.
ooh, draw a random soldier. Nice.
Looks like we drew a card that is not an expedition. Again, which I don't think really is going to matter, but that
Really
is.
do about that, but I do like that play though, where you, because of sabotage, you know you're going to get a unit and not a spell, so you don't actually lose the card. You get the card
Yeah, and
back.
Bottledjinn here has lethal, right? They attack with everything. They make sure to attack with the Brody. They have 7 in the air.
Yeah.
Seems good. Looks like Bottledjinn's gonna take it down.
The Brody, that big 7, because of the 4 and the 3 here, that should be exact lethal in the air.
All right, wow, GG.
And there we go. Congratulations to Bottledjinn. Ooh, what a match. Congratulations to Bottledjinn on winning it and is our champion tonight of Winter Challenge.